Astra broke Valorant.
You're right. Do they funnel through? Do they have a leer? Oh! Bang! What? Bang! Halfway? He's good. Oh, okay. The jump heat was enough to pull him off. Bang! Oh, bang! Again!
She reinvented the game as we knew it.
Clear.
He's fucking hell, man. He's hell. Hell heaven. Hell heaven.
Hell.
But she was also complicated, boring, and made the game pointless to play.
She hurts my head. Like, half the time I don't know what I'm doing.
Dude, I just hate Astra. You can just have global presence, or you can like solo hold. Imagine using 4 abilities all at the same time.
He's in outer space the whole round while his team is actually killing people. Like, he's an astronaut, not a Valorant player.
Astra almost ruined Valorant, but even after getting nerfed into the ground, she still represents the future of the game.
We get paid thousands and thousands of dollars just to press one button, pulling them in.
I am on a higher plane, Charlie. Literally.
Hey guys, before we get into the video, I wanted to remind you to please subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications if you haven't already. It really does help, like an Astra star helps you hit a filthy 5-man raise grenade. Yeah, that kind of help. Okay, so we all know Valorant has been adding more and more agents to its playable roster. And with every new addition, there's been a bit of a learning curve. People avoided Viper at first because she was a pretty challenging agent to master.
She is complicated. Like, you need to really change the way you play, and people don't want to put that time in, you know?
Jett was, and still is, basically the bane of every Valorant player's existence.
Jett is a very selfish agent. All of her abilities benefit Jett and Jett alone.
Yoru was pretty much a meme.
Oh, what the? How did I not see him?
Basically what I'm trying to say is, no agent is perfect from the get-go. But the celestial time-space bender Astra is kind of a special case. Why? Well, because while you could conceivably draw a parallel between Valorant's other agents and weapons and a character or a mechanic that you've already seen in another FPS, Astra is a Valorant exclusive.
High angle, low angle. He's trying to clear all the other potentials, and now he's decided, right, this has to be it. This is where they're going to be. I'm still going to try and get that. Whoa!
No way, Zoms!
That spray couldn't have been better.
So what exactly makes Astra so different? As the newest of Valorant's 4 controllers, Astra's main function is impeding the enemy as opposed to directly dealing damage. But the difference is that Astra's crowd control abilities are literally out of this world. As in, she floats above the map in her astral form, placing stars all over the place.
What the What?
She can then use those stars to create any one of these 3 things anywhere on the map. A nebula, which is essentially a smoke, a nova pulse that concusses everyone around it when it detonates, or a gravity well that traps players and pulls them towards its center, leaving those players vulnerable to attacks.
Looks like you can place them across the map, which in my opinion is pretty OP. And I don't think there's any agent that could do that. Even the Omen smoke has like a limit to it.
You're telling me that I can be like, hold on guys, I'm setting up the retake. Let me just smoke those. Let me just concuss both sides of under Balk. And let's gravity well this corner. All right guys, you ready to retake? Like, there's just, this is ridiculous.
I think she's broken to an extent. Like, I don't think it's like, she's not as bad as it was before, because I think when she first came out, it was pretty busted. Like, you pretty much could like take map control with like off barrier, which is pretty broken.
And as if her basic abilities weren't enough, Astra's ult, Cosmic Divide, lets her erect a gigantic, nearly soundproof barrier that also blocks bullets.
One enemy remaining. You're welcome.
In theory, all of those things sounded pretty cool, but in practice, Astra was a map-controlling, game-destroying menace.
You know, you can set up one of the most crazy exec by yourselves. Like, you can literally fake this whole bomb site by yourself if you wanted to, adding like one teammate with you to make more noise.
See, Astra's abilities gave her control over the entire map from anywhere. She could hold one site while managing another. She could preemptively set up a retake before getting to it. The possibilities were endless. And the worst part was that there wasn't really any counterplay. You can't interact with Astra. She floats above the map, placing her stars and activating them before you can do anything. That combination of uninteractivity and the repetitive, slow gameplay it takes to both manage and succeed with Astra was terrible for the game.
Astra can be anywhere on the map and stop a rush. Stop anything fast. It's all default bait out util. It's not fun for the viewer.
The dude's the IGL playing Astra. Everyone else is doing all the dirty work.
He's in outer space the whole round while his team is actually killing people. Like, he's an astronaut, not a Valorant player.
So Astra was busted, boring, and almost uncomfortably overpowered. She also leveled the playing field in some rather unexpected ways at first.
But like when Astra first came out, that's when I noticed, I was like, man, it is harder to play these lower tier teams. And thank God she got the nerf that she did, because she was way more broken before.
But even if early on it was possible for anyone to take advantage of Astra's cracked utils, a team needed synergy to really get the hang of the agent and utilize her properly. And since the pro scene is where teams have the highest level of coordination, as more time passed, Astra saw more and more play in high-level tournaments. Actually, in capable hands, she kind of became the only controller worth playing.
And so far, it's like the third round that we see a 5-on-5 retake, a gravity well to a nanoswarm. We love to see those kinds of combos.
Wall's about to drop as they're hearing this one for a while now, and it is on the other side. Astra.
Oh my God! What?
Yeah, he really does. He's got the first. Timing is good to cross over to this side. He'll be tickled up on the way. A nice spray as Bars goes down, and it's a 1v2. There goes the Cosmic Divide. They have to push him down. And as they come out of heaven, this could be the ideal scenario for him to just pick them off on the walk through. There it is, 1 and 2. Dells it, gets it done. A 4K and a huge clutch to keep crew in it.
Riot had a pretty huge problem on their hands with Astra. Not only was she busted, she was breaking the game at all levels of play. She was making pro games unwatchably boring, and casual games nightmarishly frustrating.
God, I fucking hate Astra. The world would be in peace if they just removed Astra from the video game.
First, in patch 3.0, Riot increased some of her cooldowns and made her stars take longer to activate after a round starts. But that was back in June 2021. Astra's reign of terror lasted for a long time after that, partially because it's hard to nerf an agent as unique as Astra without either making her useless or diluting everything that made her so special in the first place.
I think the fake smoke, when you pick up a smoke, you could take that away, and that would really harm her kit, because that's such a huge part of Astra. One of the other ones, but I think it would be overkill, is once you place a star down, you can't pick it up. And that would make people need to be a lot more cognizant of where they're putting it or whatever. But beyond those two, I don't know what you can do to really not just make her a Yoru.
And the scope of the problem went beyond just Astra herself. Her balance issues revealed some of the problems with the other agents in the game, like Brimstone's limited smokes, for example.
I think right now the bigger problem is that the other agents like Omen and Brimstone aren't viable at all compared to her kit, so it's kind of just like, I guess she's just not overpowered, but at least the other agents kind of just fall short.
Main Astra, bro! Main Astra, bro!
After months of unchecked Astra dominance, patch 4.04 finally cut her down to size and tried to bring her in line with other controllers. Riot even admitted that they created a monster, writing, quote, "With the mastery of Astra's play patterns over time, she's become an overwhelming force in both coordinated and high MMR play. She's crowded out Brimstone and Omen by replicating their strengths, and they simply couldn't keep up with the map-wide impact of her utility. So they nerfed everything. She has fewer stars, longer cooldowns on retrieving them, longer cooldowns on all her basic abilities, and the gravity well is smaller now. In theory, this should all make her a less overwhelming opponent."
Now with this new meta, definitely more possibility, and it's definitely more viable, and they can definitely compete now with the whole Astra Viper meta.
Let's say you're trying to help your team get map control, and you take back a star that's like 45 seconds. You have to wait. So to help a team, it's like more of a risk for Astra now. So you kind of have to use your util for yourself more.
Now, it's truly anyone's game. The Astra meta is over and other characters can finally get some playtime again.
Go, go, yeah. Stimming! Go, 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 go!
Go, go, go! Don't stop, don't stop! One more, one more!
One flank.
Blink? I got stimmed.
Even though the Astra meta is finally over, there's a lot we can learn from this whole mess. Valorant is still a very new game, and characters like Astra are entirely unprecedented. When you're reinventing the FPS with a character who plays an RTS while shooting, sometimes you have to shoot your shot and hope for the best, even if that means releasing a broken agent.
Oh my god, we put them in the meat grinder and grinded them up.
Because no matter how broken she was, as a unique Valorant offering, Astra was a move in the right direction if Riot's shooter planned to ever carve out its own FPS identity.
News for now. There's that utility invested, going to pull him away from the defuse, buy a little bit more time and close the gap, and another investment coming out from Xiao. This is beautiful. Gonna play that time as best he can. Now Chronicle, surely Xiao's going to check this. That's going to get to halfway. You've got to try and make this happen for yourself. A tap on the spike, and Chronicle, it's down to the wire, but I think he's
I thought he had
actually
that.
gone down on that. That was so close, but just timed well enough.
I don't think Astra is dead. I think that the way you use her has to be different. So before you can control the entire map, you can put stars, take them back, and then do all that. But now you kind of have to use her more selfishly. So she's more of like a sentinel now, where you have to like anchor sight with her.
I think she'll still be played on some maps. I think there's like 2 or 3 maps that she's still viable on, but then like the other maps, Omen or Brim, is just more viable.
At the end of the day, even though the nerf ultimately made a lot of people happy, Astra was an insane agent with an incredibly cool design, and she still does represent the future of Valorant. Hopefully that future just isn't so busted next time.
Vanity now in a 1v4. He's in the only spot that could possibly be successful for this player. Gravity well going in. They know that
If he lives, he wins!
He got the kill! He got the kill! Vanity, you legend!
Or you can't eat onions, I might give up cheese. I might be like, I'll just eat vegan cheese. Yeah, serious. Because vegan cheese is not that bad, but there's no replacement for onions. If you want onions, there's nothing else that subs in as an onion. Onions are, they're one of a kind. You can't replace them.